Right then, my darling ladies of elegance and experience, may I have a quiet word with you about something a little personal? Something that many whisper about, but few dare say out loud. Yes, we're talking about the loo. The powder room. The old porcelain throne. And more specifically, that sneaky little habit we all know too well. The just in case we. You know the one. You're about to leave the house, or the kettle's just come to a boil, or you settled in your chair to watch your favorite telly program, and suddenly you think, oh, best have a quick wee, just in case. No urgency. No dancing knees, no bladder protests. Just a thought. Better safe than sorry. And off you go. Sound familiar? Of course it does. We've all done it. But here's the bit no one tells us. And brace yourself. Because it's a touch scandalous. Every time we go for a wee without a real need, we're accidentally training our bladder to become utterly unreasonable. Yes, I'm afraid so. Instead of behaving like the quiet, civilized organ it was born to be, it starts throwing tantrums, demanding attention at the drop of a hat, insisting we dash to the loo at the first flutter of sensation, even if there's barely a tablespoon in there. You see, the bladder, bless it, is a creature of habit. Give it too much say, and it becomes bossy. Give it structure, and it learns to wait with dignity. When we keep answering those little whispers, just in case, we're actually telling our body, oi, urgency is every 15 minutes now. Chop chop. And guess what? Your poor bladder believes you. It doesn't know any better. Now, I'm not saying ignore it entirely. If it's knocking on the door with purpose, by all means, go. But if it's just peeking around the curtain, offering a casual hello, you can smile and say, not now, sweetheart. We'll visit the loo when it's truly time. That, my love, is bladder wisdom. And trust me, it's a game changer. A healthy bladder should only really trouble you every 2 to 4 hours, and should be able to hold about 1.5 to 2 cups of tea's worth. That's right, your bladder can handle it proper. British brew if you let it. We just need to give it the chance to remember how. So here's the plan. Next time you hear that tiny urge, ask yourself, is this a real call or just a nervous habit? Am I in control? Or is my bladder writing the script? Because truth be told, my darling, you deserve to run the show, not your bladder. And if you give it a little time, a little patience, and a few gentle no, not yets, you'll find yourself feeling braver, freer, and yes, drier. And just between us, you don't need to wee every time you leave the house. Just as you don't need to carry a tin of boiled sweets everywhere anymore. Although, let's be honest, that one's a bit harder to give up. Now then, my lovely, if I told you there's a secret little power hidden right inside your own body, one that's free, effective, and doesn't require gym membership or Lycra leggings, would you believe me? Well, hold on to your cup of tea, because it's true. Let me introduce you to your pelvic floor muscles, or as I like to call them, the unsung heroines of the lower half. These marvelous muscles are like a hammock, gently holding up your bladder, bowel, and all the rest of your inner treasure. They're small, subtle, and utterly vital. But here's the catch. If you don't use they get a little sleepy. And when they snooze, accidents happen. Yes, I'm afraid to say it. Leaks, little dribbles, that dreaded dash to the loo when you laugh too hard or sneeze during the church choir. Sound familiar? Now, no one's blaming you, love. We weren't exactly handed a leaflet titled, "Congratulations, you're 60. Time to lift your pelvic floor." No one ever said, don't forget to squeeze your undercarriage during the news. But here's the truth. Those tiny squeezes can make a world of difference. It's not about clenching like you're trying to crack walnuts. No, it's a gentle lift, like you're holding in wind at the Queen's garden party. Elegant, discreet, British. The beauty of pelvic floor exercises is you can do them anytime, anywhere. Waiting at the bus stop. Squeeze. Boiling the kettle. Lift. Listening to your grandson talk about cryptocurrency. Definitely squeeze. The real magic is in consistency. A few sets a day, 3 sets of 10. If you're the counting type, and you'll be amazed. Over time, you'll feel stronger, more in control. You'll laugh without crossing your legs. You'll sneeze with swagger. And before you know it, you'll be walking past the loo. Not into it. Now that's freedom. My dear, that's the quiet dignity of a pelvic floor that's had its morning workout. So, from today, let's make a pact. You and me. We don't need spandex, mirrors, or fancy machines. Just a moment of mindfulness, a breath, and a gentle lift from within. Because you, my lovely, are not weak or broken. You're blooming, marvelous, and with just a bit of practice, your pelvic floor will remember exactly how marvelous it is too. Now then, love, let's talk about something deceptively simple. Water. That clear, refreshing gift from the heavens that we all claim to be drinking plenty of, when in truth, many of us are surviving on 2 cups of tea, half a glass of juice, and perhaps a splash of tap water when brushing our teeth. But here's the curious thing. Most of us who worry about bladder leaks actually start drinking less water, not more. I'll just sip a bit here and there, we say. No sense. Fill in the tank if it's got a leak. But here's the twist, my darling, and it's rather cheeky of the bladder. Really, when you don't drink enough, your bladder becomes more sensitive, not less. Less water means more concentrated urine. And that strong acidic stuff, it's like vinegar to your poor bladder lining. It irritates. It stings. It sends false alarms. So while you're thinking you're playing it safe by keeping the drinks to a minimum, your bladder is in the background panicking, waving its little arms and shouting, "Emergency! Trouble brewing! Get me out!" You see, the bladder isn't terribly clever. It doesn't know why it's being filled. It just reacts to what's in it. And concentrated urine feels like a red alert. Now I know what you're thinking, but won't drinking more make me go more? At first, yes. Your body will celebrate with a bit of a flushing festival. But after a few days of proper hydration, your system adjusts. Your bladder calms down. It learns to stretch. It stops panicking every 20 minutes. And here's the best bit. Hydrated urine is gentle. It's like chamomile tea for your bladder. Mild, friendly, comforting. Instead of yelling, it whispers. So let's make a toast, shall we? To water, the unsung hero. Let's aim for 6 to 8 glasses a day. And yes, your tea and coffee do count, although too much caffeine is another story. And we'll get to that cheeky thing that it is. Keep a pretty glass near your chair. Pop a slice of lemon in. Make hydration a little ritual, a kindness to your bladder, your skin, your joints, even your mood. And if anyone asks why you've suddenly taken to sipping like the queen herself, you can simply say, "I'm training my bladder to behave like a lady." Because, dear heart, you are not a leaky pipe. You are a blooming fountain of wisdom, and that fountain deserves clean, clear, life-giving water. Right then, love. Let me ask you something cheeky. Have you ever found yourself thinking, "I'll just wait a bit longer before I pop to the loo," or "I'll finish this episode, this phone call, this knitting row, then I'll go"? Of course, you have. We all have. But here's the thing. Your bladder is not a storage unit. It's a living, breathing, slightly temperamental little pouch. And when you keep ignoring its polite nudges, well, it doesn't just wait patiently. Oh no, it learns. You see, when you regularly hold your wee too long, your bladder starts to adapt. Not in a good way. It stretches. It forgets how to signal properly. And before you know it, instead of giving you those gentle early reminders, it goes full Shakespearean tragedy. No warning. No grace period. Just exit. Stage left, now. 1 minute you're enjoying a biscuit. The next you're sprinting like a pensioner on a game show. Now I know. It feels virtuous to hold it in, like a mark of strength, control, perhaps even dignity. But truly, there's no medal for ignoring your bladder's needs. There's no queen handing out honors for most heroic holding of urine. What you get instead? An overfull bladder, weakened pelvic muscles, and a very dramatic finale in the bathroom department. Let's be clear, your bladder is meant to be emptied before it's shouting at you, not when it's banging pots and pans and threatening to. Leak on the carpet. So what's the sweet spot? Generally, if it's been 2 to 4 hours since your last trip, go. Even if you don't feel desperate. Even if the cat's asleep on your lap and you feel terribly British for not disturbing him. Get up. Go. Your bladder will thank you. And you'll be teaching it that yes, it's safe to speak softly. It doesn't need to scream. Here's a helpful tip. Pair loo visits with routines. Morning tea. Loo. Lunchtime. Loo. Evening telly. Loo. Before you leave the house. Always the loo. That little habit can save you from panic, accidents, and unscheduled dashes down supermarket aisles. So remember, dear heart, you don't have to be a hero. Respond to your body's signals with kindness, not martyrdom. Because being strong isn't about suffering quietly. It's about listening wisely. And besides, we're far too elegant to be caught doing the potty hop in public, aren't we? Now, brace yourself, love, because I'm about to say something scandalous to any self-respecting Brit. Sometimes, tea isn't your best friend. I know. Take a deep breath. Put the kettle down. We'll get through this together. You see, we're a nation powered by brews. Feeling tired? Have a cuppa. Cold weather? CUPPA. Sad day? Cuppa. Someone died, someone's born, someone's popped by uninvited. We solve it all with a warm mug in hand. But here's what your bladder's been trying to whisper for years. That caffeine, darling. It's winding me up. Yes, caffeine, the very thing that perks us up, is also a diuretic, which is a fancy way of saying it makes your kidneys do a tap dance, filling your bladder faster than a leaky roof in a British storm. And as if that weren't enough, caffeine is also a bladder irritant. It's like a party crasher in your urinary tract. Exciting at first, then loud, disruptive, and impossible to ignore. So what happens when you've had 3 cups before noon and maybe a cheeky coffee later on? Your bladder goes into overdrive. It doesn't just fill, it fumes. Suddenly, you're up and down to the loo like a jack in the box, wondering why your iron bladder of 1972 has turned into a leaky tea bag. Now, I'm not saying give up tea altogether. Goodness no. That would be un-British and quite possibly illegal. But do consider cutting back a smidge, especially if you're sipping all day like it's a hydration marathon. Here's what you can do. Try decaf tea for your afternoon. Brews. Still warm, still lovely, but much kinder on the plumbing. Swap the second coffee for a herbal tea. Peppermint, chamomile, rooibos, soothing and bladder friendly. And most cheekily of all, consider a teacup smaller than a bucket. It's not about deprivation, dear heart. It's about bladder diplomacy. A little caffeine here and there? Lovely, but a full-on caffeine concert every day? That's when your bladder starts waving the white flag. And just think, with fewer frantic trips to the toilet, you'll actually get to finish your crossword, your conversation, or your teleprogram without the constant pause. So next time someone offers you that 5th cuppa, you can smile sweetly and say, I'd love one. But let's not wake the bladder dragon, shall we? Right, dear one, let's have a heart-to-heart about something that's a bit less glamorous than a cup of tea, but just as important, pelvic floor exercises. Yes, those. Now, I know what you're thinking. Pelvic floor what now? Isn't that something only gym fanatics or yoga obsessives bother with? Or maybe, oh, I tried those once, felt silly, and then forgot. Well, you're not alone. Most of us treat our pelvic muscles like an old, forgotten instrument tucked away in the attic, ignored until someone suggests playing a tune, and then it squeaks embarrassingly. But here's the kicker. These muscles are the unsung heroes in the whole bladder control business. They act like a gentle but firm gatekeeper, keeping everything in check and stopping leaks before they start. These muscles weaken, and they do, especially as we age or after childbirth. The bladder can start playing tricks on you. Suddenly, that little hold on a moment feeling becomes an urgent emergency. Skipping pelvic exercises is like leaving your umbrella at home. On a rainy day, you're asking for trouble. And I'm not going to pretend these exercises are fun or sexy. They're not. They're subtle, secret moves you can do anywhere. Sitting at the breakfast table, waiting for your tea to brew. Even while watching your favorite show. Just squeeze those muscles as if you're stopping yourself midstream. Hold for a few seconds. Release, repeat. Easy peasy. But be consistent. Like brushing your teeth or watering your plants. It's a daily kindness to your body. And here's the beautiful bit. With time, these exercises can rebuild strength and confidence. You'll feel more in control, not just physically, but emotionally. Imagine, no more worrying about sneaky leaks or sudden urges ruining your day. Just peace of mind, freedom. And a little secret smile every time you remember. You're giving your pelvic floor a workout. So don't leave those muscles to gather dust. Invite them back to the party. They're more than ready to work for you. After all, you deserve to feel strong and supported, literally. All right, love, let's have a little chin wag about something that can be a bit touchy, but oh so important. Our weight. Now. I'm not here to wag a finger or lecture about diets, but there's a cheeky connection between those extra pounds and your bladder giving you grief. Think of your bladder like a soft balloon. When you carry a bit of extra weight, especially around the tummy, it's like someone's pressing down on that balloon with a firm hand. More pressure means your bladder has to work overtime just to hold it all in. No wonder it throws a tantrum now and then. And let's be honest, managing weight isn't just about how we look or squeezing into last year's jeans. It's about feeling comfortable, confident, and yes, keeping that pesky urge to dash to the loo under control. Losing a little weight, even just a few pounds, can make a big difference in how your bladder behaves. Less pressure means fewer leaks, less urgency, and a bit more peace of mind during your daily strolls or tea parties. But here's the thing, it's not about harsh diets or starving yourself. No. It's about gentle changes, a bit more walking with the dog, a few extra veggies on your plate, maybe a cheeky swap of biscuits for fresh fruit now and then. Every little helps, as they say. And if you're feeling a tad overwhelmed, remember this, it's about progress, not perfection. Even small steps count. And your bladder will thank you with fewer dramas and more calm days. So don't let those extra pounds boss your bladder around. Take it easy. Be kind to yourself. And remember, you're worth every effort for comfort and confidence. And if anyone dares to mention diet at the tea table, just smile and say, I'm simply helping my bladder enjoy the party a bit more. Now, before we finish our little chat, let's talk about something that sneaks up on us all: stress and anxiety. You might not realize it, but your mind and your bladder are closer friends than you think when you're feeling worried or tense. Maybe about family, health, or even just life's daily challenges. Your body responds in curious ways. Your bladder? Well, it can start acting a bit like a drama queen again, demanding attention at the worst possible moments. You see, stress, triggers a whole cascade of signals in your body, making your bladder more sensitive and reactive. That urgent need to dash to the loo? Often it's your mind and nerves doing a bit of a dance, not just your bladder's fault. The good news? You can soothe both mind and bladder with some simple self-care and kindness. Deep breathing, gentle walks, having a good laugh with friends. All these can calm the nerves and, by extension, calm your bladder's temper tantrums. And don't forget the power of a chat. Sometimes, just talking about worries, whether with family, friends, or a friendly GP, can ease the pressure. Remember, dear one, it's perfectly normal to feel stressed sometimes, but don't let it boss you around or control your bladder's schedule. You're in charge here, so take a breath, have a cuppa, and know this: your bladder and you are a team. And with a little love, humor, and care, you can keep that team working smoothly, no matter what life throws your way. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Here's to many more dry days, hearty laughs, and peaceful moments, all wrapped up in a warm, snug blanket of comfort and confidence. Thank you ever so much for spending this time with me today. I truly hope these little tips and stories have brought you comfort, a smile, and a bit more confidence to carry on your day. If you found this helpful, please do subscribe to our channel for more warm and friendly advice just like this. A like goes a long way in showing your support. And don't be shy. Leave a comment below to share your thoughts or experiences. And if you know someone who could benefit from these tips, please share this video with them. Together, we can create a caring community where nobody has to face these challenges alone. Once again, thank you kindly and take very good care of yourself. Until next time, stay strong, stay joyful, and keep smiling.